The Zionists, as things continue to spiral out of control, are going to continue to do what they're doing, which is the conflation of Zionism and Judaism. And this lady's name is Lilach Mizrahi. I know it's hard to believe that people think and talk this way, but she does.
אז אחרי שהעליתי את הסרטון שלי רוקדת בגשם וכותבת שלא אכפת לי מה קורה בעזה, רוב התגובות שקיבלתי היו מאוד מאוד מפרגנות, באמת 99% מהם, אבל 1% היה חייב להגיד, את לא יותר טובה מהם. ואל תשכחי שיש אנשים חפים מפשע, יש תינוקות רעבים בעזה, וחשוב לי לציין שכן אכפת לי מה שקורה בעזה, אכפת לי שיהיה להם רע, אכפת לי שהם יסבלו, זה כן. באמת, אני מצטערת אם לא הייתי...
So it's very important that they suffer. It's very important that the Palestinian people suffer. And this is a person who claims to be Jewish, but is a Zionist and is making a mockery of faith. And the same thing happens with evangelicals who do the same thing to Christianity. And this is exactly why we have a big problem here. They gleefully say this, I want to kill Palestinian children. And this woman clearly doesn't look like she's struggling very much in life, which, as you said.
Exactly. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. But that's why Zionism is a cult, a true cult, the worst kind. They do believe in the blood oath, even though, as the rabbi pointed out, it goes completely against the tenements of the faith. So they're basically just making up their own religion, like Scientology, like Mormonism, like Jehovah's Witnesses. There's 4,000.
Facilitate this. I don't recall that we spoke about this. Like, that's what this is one of the things that I was talking about. Like, we talk about what we're going to do and then random things sort of just get thrown in.
Well, I didn't realize we were going to do as much as we did with the rabbi, so I wanted to.
That might be, but I don't know what this, like, who is this woman again?
She's apparently somebody who's very popular on TikTok.
מספיק ברורה, אני לא הולכת להתנצל על זה. אני כן הולכת להרגיש שאני יותר טובה מהם. לא יודעת, כאילו, הקטע הזה שאני לא נכנסתי לרצוח אנשים חפים מפשע בפסטיבל או בבתים שלהם, לא אנסתי, לא טבחתי, לא התעללתי, זה קצת נותן לי איזושהי עליונות מוסרית.
This is just silly to me. I don't know why, like, you're wanting to play this woman's crap.
You know, I really wish you would give me a little latitude and not make.
I am. I just don't. Okay, that's what I just wasn't aware we were doing that.
Well, I decided that I called an audible. I wanted to pull this up.
Okay.
And I want people to understand that this is somebody who claims to be Jewish. But because they're a Zionist, they go against everything that the Bible teaches. And just as the rabbi indicated, he's like, do you really think anybody like this woman on screen right now knows anything about anything in the Bible? Probably nothing. Like, for them, it's a culture. It's a feeling. It's traditions. It's not about actual pious behavior.
No, and at this point, there is an inordinate amount of just inbreeding, and you get a certain cult like this woman and people that are just born into this.
I also think that, as was pointed out a few minutes ago, is that this is also very much in line with class dynamics. I believe that class has a lot to do with this.
Of course.
And that's a huge part of it.
ולא אכפת לי מה קורה שם, לא אכפת לי מה אתם חושבים עליי, אני לא משפיענית, אין קוד קופון פה, אני לא צריכה שחברות יגידו לי, בסדר, אבל אל תהי פוליטית. לא, אני אגיד את האמת שלי, והאמת היא שהם יכולים ללכת לי.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah, I don't.
Inhumane scum. That's what she represents. That's what all of them represent. And that is why it is imperative that people understand the difference between the two ideologies. Or again, a religion and an ideology, because that's what it is.
Right. That woman's not Jewish. She's an Israeli.
Well, I mean, again, she's
a representative. She is representative of an Israeli. She is not representative of a Jewish person, rather. She's not representative of a Jew. She's a representative of an Israeli.
So then
that's not the same thing.
So then the question becomes, what is it going to take for us to all collectively realize that we have to eliminate this unholy alliance?
It's not an alliance. It needs to just end.
Well, yes. But again, if Israel doesn't have us, then Israel doesn't exist.
Correct. So there is no alliance. It's a part of ourselves. It's a part of.
I would also ask, why is it that somebody like Ro Khanna feels the need to sign on for another $3.3 billion with a B dollars in additional aid to Israel? What's that all about?
This is they're all the same. There is not a single Democrat that stands out in this regard in Congress. Not one.
This is also why we are so adamant that while the GOP is doing what they're doing, the Democratic Party is in no way, shape, or form the solution to this problem. They're never going to be. We already know that the Democratic Party is heavily funding this, or is being heavily funded by the pro-Israel lobby. And even if it's not AIPAC, as you've pointed out time and again, they get, how many different pro-Israel NGOs are there out there? I mean, just off the top of your head, Jen, how many of them can you name?
Pro-Israel NGOs?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place, but they all basically are under the same JNF umbrella. They're all ultimately under the same. They all go to the same place. It's all the same.
Yes, but there are people who actually think that there is like something to be said about, oh, well, the Democrats are going to win back. Yeah, but they're going to win back what? And what are they going to do? They're not going to do anything. You've already seen what their modus operandi is, and they're not going to change it. I just hope people understand that that's what's coming, that we inevitably are heading for revolution. That's the path that we're on right now, and we're not going to get off it. And if that clip of that lady was any indication as to what's coming, that is merely an appetizer, because this is the entree. Now, for those of you who don't know who Adam Milstein is, this is a person who is one of the biggest funders. I want to be very clear about this guy, Adam Milstein, and what his deal is. So Adam Milstein is an Israeli investor and full-on rapist, as I like to say, philanthropist. But this is one of the people that typically has been in the shadows for a very long time. Not a lot of people know about him. Well, you're going to know about him now, because this is what's coming when the oligarchs come out from behind the shadows. He is one of the main players in the pro-Israel movement. And here's what he had to say at that insane event that just took place in South Florida this past weekend.
We need to invest in intelligence to understand who are the anti-Semites, who's funding them, what's their plans, who are the leaders. And then once we have that, we can define who is an enemy we can attack. Obviously, we're not.
Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. I want you to listen very carefully to what he just said.
We need to invest in intelligence to understand who are the anti-Semites, who's funding them, what's their plans, who are the leaders. And then once we have that, we can define who is an enemy we can attack. Obviously, we're not going to go against, Islamo-leftists in the United States. It's too big. We need to define very specific organization, individuals, actions that we can fight against. And for example, when we talk about the Islamo-leftists, it's clear that Qatar is behind all that. So we need.
Where the hell did this Qatar thing start from anyway?
I am not sure what this guy's talking about. I've never seen, like, I don't know anything about this guy other than this.
Well, I'm telling you who he is. I told you about him earlier.
No, I know. I saw this clip. I saw this clip before you even told me about it. I mean, I know what he's saying. I just never knew of him until now. Like, so
remember,
I don't.
You're not supposed to know who he is. Most of these guys are in the shadows, but now they're coming from out the shadows because frankly, I think part of the reason they're coming from out the shadows is because they know that their position is precarious. They know that,
or it could be that they have a face for radio.
That's whatever.
I mean, that could be why they're in the shadows. Some people are maybe meant to be in the shadows. I don't know.
You may be right, but in the end,
look at this guy. He looks pretty. He looks pretty like belong better in the shadows.
Oh, he's almost 75, so yeah, I would.
I don't care.
It's no spring chicken, but he's also talking about the need to continue to crack down on free speech, the need to go after our enemies. And when you have the type of money, power, and influence that somebody like this man has, and they are relentless in their pursuits, there is nothing that they will not do to protect their interests. And again, it's a class war, nothing more. But the pro-Israel movement is really based on that concept. And that's why this man represents so much inherent danger within the system. That, as much as anything to me, is a really big problem. So I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah. I mean, all of these little speaker tools are a problem. The ones that have more money are more of a problem. That's how it works.
To focus on Qatar, Muslim Brotherhood, CARE in the United States.
Okay. Can you explain to the audience why the Zios are so hell-bent on taking down CARE? Why that? And it's CAIR, CAIR.
Right.
Why?
It's the Council for American Islamic Relations.
Okay. So
it's essentially the equivalent, or what they're trying to make it be like somehow it's in some way anti-Israel. That somehow the Council for American Islamic Relations is inherently anti-Israel. And so that to me indicates that he knows that in order to be pro-Israel, you're doing things that are anti-Muslim. Clearly. Yeah. Clearly. You must know or believe, have reason to believe that Islamic peoples are seeking to end your mission. Why would they be doing that? And again, that's not what CARE is about. CARE is a really nice organization. I've never had a problem with CARE. I like them. I like CARE Florida. And yeah, they support Palestinians. So if you're going to support Palestinians, and those are the people that are currently being Holocausted, you're going to stick up for those people. Those are their people. But again, the thing about CARE is, and I've been to several of their functions. They've always been very good to me. So I like CARE. Yeah, I like CARE. And they do a great spread. CARE does a good spread.
If you have a choice, and I'm going to say this as somebody who has been around all three major Western faiths, let me tell you, there's something special about being around the Muslim community. How accepting they are, how non-judgmental they are, and how truly pious they are.
But I just want to say, the thing about CARE that I did notice at all of their events, and especially where they are fundraising to help send resources to people that are being Holocausted, but they didn't sit there and distinguish, are they only going to help Muslim Palestinians? No, they don't do that. That's what Jewish organizations do. Jewish organizations specifically only help Jewish people.
That's true.
CARE in what their mission is as people that are of the Islamic faith is about helping the people. Now, in Palestine, there are Christians and there's Muslims. And I don't recall at a CARE function them distinguishing that the money was only going to the Muslims. So why this piece of shit has a problem with CARE is because they support Palestinian self-determination. That's why.
Agreed.
There's no other reason.
When we talk about radical left, we need to focus on the Democratic Socialists of America, which are not Democrats. They're just socialist Marxists that are using democratic means to take over the Democratic Party. Mamdani is a Democratic Socialist of America.
Yes.
And Mamdani, and Mamdani is already off to a great start in his tenure as mayor of New York City. So this is probably driving them extra mad. The fact that he has already created a firestorm at this level shows you how much their position is truly precarious at this point.
Good.
So we need to focus on DSA. We need to focus on other radical movement, anarchist movements.
So we went from democratic socialist to anarchist in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He just knows that he needs to say what he needs to say to keep his money flowing how he wants his money flowing. That's it.
That's his only priority. But I also believe that he is, to me, guys like Milstein come out from the shadows when they're very concerned about their position, where they're concerned about what the future looks like for them and their family and whatnot. I think he's very concerned. In fact, his language is that of a very defensive person, not a person who sounds like he's in control.
All the old Zios are defensive right now. They're in their death throes.
Yeah.
And it's
but
glorious.
don't worry. We're going to build a new Gaza Riviera with tens of billions of dollars. Yeah. I wonder how Kushner's getting his hands on that money, by the way. That'll be interesting. Probably have the Fed just print it for him.
A lot of organizations that are being sponsored by China and by Marxist billionaires. And
who are the Marxist billionaires?
Yeah, please tell me. I want to meet them.
I do too. Please. Where are you? Please. Should I put out like a help wanted thing looking for Marxist billionaires? Are there Marxist billionaires? The fact that even came out of his mouth just indicates how stupid this man is. Like, a Marxist billionaire is a complete oxymoron. That doesn't even make sense. But regardless, like this guy has gone from democratic socialist to anarchist to Marxist.
Yeah, he really hit the gap.
He's all over the place.
Once we have all this information, we need to empower and mobilize an ecosystem of many organizations that we can incentivize them to work together, to share, and to fight against our common enemies. We need to invest in pro-Israel organizations, and we need.
Hey, what's this guy's name on the thing? I forget. It's like Milstein.
Adam Milstein is his name.
Adam Milstein.
Milstein.
Yeah.
We have to invest in pro-Israel organizations. Isn't that all you do? What event are you at right now? How much did that event at the Diplomat cost for you to put on? What you claim is for 4,000 people. Now, let's just assume he's only slightly exaggerating and it's 3,500 people that showed up at this event. How much do you think events like that cost, Mr. Milstein? Millions of dollars. Millions.
Yeah, everyone's saying he does. I agree. He does look definitely like Eastern Asian, which is very interesting. And yes, there are some Chinese Jews. It's not common. Although, I am now part Han Chinese because I had that DNA test and I had.
Hey, your son definitely could pass for an Asian.
Yeah, no, my son does definitely have. He does have that look to him. But so I don't know what his accent is or what this guy Milstein's background is. But
what I do know is that he's a desperate old man.
To invest in pro-American organizations.
Yeah, but you see, here's the problem, douchebag. America first means Israel no more. And that's the message you're going to have a hard time coming to terms with, as are a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how bad this is going to go for him and for a lot of other people. Now, just for fun, I don't know what this girl's name is. I don't really care. but she's the one sitting right next to Milstein on stage. And this is what her flapping lips had to say about the whole situation.
Actually want to specifically tackle Jew hatred on the left, then we literally need to relearn how to communicate this issue to America First, MAGA, Trumper, conservatives. Do you think that conservatives care that Israel has the biggest gay pride parade in the Middle East, or that Israel respects international law? No.
Israel respects international law. Jen, can you explain to me what it is about these Jew broads that talk like that have this?
I don't know. Everyone's talking about the vocal fry. Yeah, it's not good. She's like, I don't know. How about something? I don't know. She's terrible.
Is she on like a downer or something? Like what
I don't
is
know. I don't
a lot
know.
of them like from Long Island and whatnot, they sound like that. Like they have this very unappealing vocal.
Do you think that they care that we have a big pride parade?
You know, I don't understand. Like, whatever. I am a proud Jewy girl. Don't you understand?
Oh. Conservatives care that Israelis are having more babies than any other developed country, and that there is a strong religious character and strong national pride, and that masculinity is still valued there. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, all I see in Israel are a bunch of beta male
Shapiros.
I don't see any masculinity there at all.
And that's
not
all. Yeah, that's what they're like. That's real masculinity there, lady.
Yeah, masculinity are people that need to be armed to be amongst unarmed civilians and to feel safe, or people that are threatened by children throwing rocks. It's not masculine.
Oh, God. Mehdi, I wish I could put that up there, but I can't do that.
We should not be arguing when we're fighting against right-wing anti-Semitism for censorship or for content moderation on platforms. We should not be using terms like hate speech or platforming. Okay, we need to be using the language of America First, which most importantly is about how a strong Israel makes a strong America, because an empowered ally that is able to police its own region and fight our mutual enemies.
How are they able to police their own region when we keep giving them billions of dollars? How are they able to police their own region? How is that a help to us in any fucking way? What is it they're able to do? If we didn't keep sending them weapons and money, what are they capable of doing? Yeah, I don't like this. This is just aggravating.
We'll finish it up.
To take out of our resources of the Middle East and redirect them towards the Indo-Pacific and be able to focus on our real existential enemy, for which Iran and Russia would not be nearly as big of threats as they are, which is the Chinese Communist Party. And so,
well, you think she got talking points before she went up on that stage? All right, so we're going to coach you now. Okay, so what is it that you want me to say? China?
I can't even talk. She sounds terrible. First of all, she sounds like she's a chain smoker. So if she isn't, she should be, because she sounds like one anyway.
Yeah, but why stop now?
So strengthening Israel strengthens America because it allows us to focus on China.
I agree with Carrie's. You know, it is, as I said, forget about anti-Semitism and people who hate us. We think as American, and we need to present the issue as American first, as Karen says. America first, we're here to protect America. And America first means strong Israel and strong America.
Again, they failed to draw that link. Like, if this were a presentation in a trial, if we were sitting in a courtroom and there was a trial and you have to connect dots, you can't just say A and B. You have to show how one causes the other. You have to show a causal link. You can't just say this happened and so far this is why. You have to show it. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I do want to say one thing in conclusion to this story. The fact that they had to constantly repeat this message of America first is pro-Israel,
exactly.
They know that America First movement is not MAGA. They know that there's a distinction with a difference.
They
And
know they're
because
losing that group.
They are. And they know that the likes of Tucker and Candace, and yes, I have to say Nick Fuentes, losing that demographic, it's a death sentence for their ideology.